This is why whenever I read 1 Corinthians 13, that's who I think of every time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read 1 Corinthians 13, but I want you to listen to it in a way. I want you to have Bob in your mind as I read it, because I think it typifies many things in his life. It says, I may speak in different languages of people or even angels, but if I do not have love, I am only a noisy bell or crashing cymbal. I may have the gift of prophecy. I may understand the secret things of God and have all knowledge, and I may have faith so great I can move mountains. But even with all these things, if I do not have love, then I am nothing. I may give away everything I have, and I may give my whole body as an offering to be burned, but I gain nothing if I do not have love. And listen to these words and think about them. Love is perfect and kind. Love is not jealous. It does not brag. And it is not proud. Love is not rude. It is not selfish and does not get upset with others. Love does not count up wrongs that have been done. Love is not happy with evil, but is happy with the truth. Love patiently accepts all things. It always trusts, always hopes, always remains strong. Love never ends. There are gifts of prophecy, but they will be ended. There are gifts of speaking in different languages, but these gifts will stop. There is the gift of knowledge, but it will come to an end. The reason is that our knowledge and our ability to prophecy are not perfect. But when perfection comes, the things that are perfect will end. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought as a child, I reasoned as a child. When I became a man, I stopped childish ways. It is the same with us. Now we see a dim reflection as if we were looking into a mirror, but then we shall see clearly. Now I know only a part, but then will I know fully as God has known me. So these three things continue forever: faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is what? It's love. Our challenge for all of us is to continue Bob's legacy of love. I ask you this, as I ask myself this: is there any area of our life that we need to love more? If it is, we need to do it. One of the people on the site wrote this: Bob is the only friend who kept in touch with Dad since his stroke. Can we take the time to visit those in our care facilities? Can we take the time to visit people who can't get out anymore? Can we take the time to visit people who need to be told that they're still remembered and they're still loved? Bob did. We can. Another person wrote he had a contagious smile. Another, his smile was just infectious. True. Let me ask you this. Do you smile at others when you get the chance? Or are you just passing by? I never saw Bob not smile at anybody. Still another said, when he was working with my children, helping them to buy a home, I knew he was treating my children just as he would treat his own. His honesty, integrity, and absolute belief in God is admirable and will never be forgotten. I ask us, anybody out in the world that could use your help? Any adjustments needed in the areas of honesty or integrity? How's your walk with the Lord? What's your relationship with the Lord? We knew Bob was solid in all those areas. We can make those same choices. We can continue that legacy. Another comment: he was a role model to many and any child that he came across. You know, we're all role models. Not only to children, but to adults. Let me ask you a question, yes or no, and I want you to respond verbally. Do people watch you? Yes. Now, if they watch you 24/7, that's paranoia. But they do watch us. What do they watch? They watch our actions. If our actions do not match our words, it's very hypocritical. But when our actions match our words, that's credibility. The man had credibility because he was real. He was a role model. April wrote, as a dad, he was everything I hope my son will be. Wow, what a testimony. As a grandfather, she wrote, he raised the bar. My children are better people because of him, and I am forever grateful. We can choose to be that kind of role model. I ask all of us, do we need to start by raising our own bar? A younger contributor wrote, my favorite thing ever was when you sang the YMCA song when we did that karaoke thing. You made me laugh so hard. Folks, that is a performance I would have paid to see. I want you to just take a second, and I want you to shut your eyes, and I want you to just take a moment and see in your brain Bob Barber singing the YMCA song. That's an image, is it not? Are you willing to laugh at yourself in front of others? Bob agreed with my mom, who said, if you can laugh at yourself, you have material for the rest of your life. Bob shared a lot of that. Someone else wrote on the site, I will miss you coming to my birthdays and eating a lot of ketchup. Birthdays ketchup, I'm not sure. Here's my question. Are there any birthday parties you need to make sure you attend? I'm going to ask you to do something for me, not today, maybe later today, but sometime. I want you to do this. Next time you eat a steak, I don't care if you like ketchup or you don't. I want you to take one bite, and I want you to cover it with ketchup. I want you to put your fork in it. I want you to raise it a little bit, and I want you to just say, this one's for you, Bob. I think he would appreciate that gesture. In a different area, a person wrote, Madeline has always loved to hear Bob announce her name after she would make a basket. It made her feel like she was playing for the Chicago Bulls. This reminds me of a day in Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles when Bob got the opportunity to announce the starting lineup for the Dodgers. And if you haven't seen these pictures, they're down front. I will never, ever forget looking at the faces of the Dodger players sitting in the dugout when Bob did the announcements. You could see them laughing. You could see them, elbowing each other. I don't think they'd ever heard their names announced that way. And I'll make you a bet. I bet they haven't heard it since. That was a great day. So here's my question. Anybody around continue the announcing legacy for Bob at the basketball games? I think he'd appreciate that. And I know some kids would. 3 different people wrote this. When I needed help from Bob, he was always there. Another one was, he always was willing to take that extra step for anyone. Another said, Bob is the love of Christ in action. What do our actions show others? Are we willing to take the extra step for others? Are we always there for others? Bob was. We could be. And one last comment was made. Thank you for giving your time and sharing your love of the game. You made us all better players, and you made us all better people by your example. Though you only coached us a few years, you remained a lifelong friend to every kid you touched. You know, the world needs more coaches who care more about wins than don't care more about wins, but care more about what they're doing with young people. We need more coaches. So could you volunteer to coach? And you know what? If you couldn't volunteer to coach, how about volunteering at school? How about just getting involved in the life of some kid somewhere and just helping them along the way?